The most common question I get from people is, what is the most dangerous parts of flying? Well, that's an easy one. It's your takeoff and it's your landing. Now, obviously, in cruise, you could have issues as well, and less likely to have issues in cruise, but more likely to have them on landing or takeoff and landing and put them in the right order. But even while you're cruising in the air, you have to think about what could happen. I had a instructor. His name was Gibby, and every time we would go flying, he would ask me. He said, "Okay, if you lost your engine right now, where would you land?" And his whole purpose in asking me that is that while I'm flying, as beautiful as it is to be in the air, and awesome that it is, I should say, you have to be prepared that if something happens, what are you going to do? And my kids and my wife would watch me as I fly, and I'm constantly looking out. And I'm trying to find the airports along the way and figuring out how far they're away, so I can figure out, okay, if I have an engine problem right now, can I make it to that airport? And if there's no airports around, I look at fields. Where would I land at if I have an issue? I try to be prepared when I'm flying. But on takeoff, you could lose your engine on takeoff. There's multiple stories of pilots coming off the ground, and they'll be off the ground, and then they lose their engine, and they have to make a decision. Sometimes that decision is you just have to land it straight ahead, no matter what's there. You have no choice. And then depending on your altitude, you might be high enough where you can turn and go back to the airport that you came out of. So, even on landing, you could have things that happen. You could have your engine to stop while you're on landing. You could hit a bird. I mean, there's so many things that could happen. That's why it's important as a pilot. You have to be prepared for the unexpected, which is exactly what happened to us. We were on a trip, my wife and I. We stopped in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we picked up my daughter. Then we left Chattanooga, Tennessee, and then head to Atlanta, Georgia. We landed at Peachtree Airport, which is a Class Delta that sits right underneath the Bravo. And when I got there, first of all, the first thing that you have to realize is when you come into an airport that you've never been to before, your nerves are already kind of rattled because you don't know what to expect. I mean, you can look at the diagrams, you can know the runways, you can know the taxiways, you can know all that, but you've never been there before. It's not like your home airport. So that's number one that was working against my nerves, if you will. The other one was, as I was on a 2-mile final, I got switched from the right runway to the left runway. Not as big of a deal as if it was in, let's say, Nashville, where they're spaced out quite a bit. At this airport, they're almost right there next to each other, so it wasn't as big of a deal. But it was rattling because I'd already prepared myself mentally that I was going to land on the right runway. I had it in sight. I was lined up with it, ready to go, and then I got switched to the left one. So during all this stuff that was going on, I made a rookie mistake. And it could have been probably not a fatal mistake, I would say, but a mistake that could have caused a lot of damage. And it's a mistake that I have not made probably since I was an early student. I have 400 hours of flight hours right now. And it shows that even at 400 hours, or probably some pilots out there will tell you even more than that, they have made this same mistake at times. But what happened was, as we were coming in, I got rattled. I didn't pay attention to something that was critical. You're going to hear something in this video. I'm going to show you the video. You're going to hear something in the video that's going to indicate to you, if you're a pilot or if you know about flying, you're going to know what's going on when you hear a certain noise. It's called the stall horn. So when you hear that, you know what's about to happen. So I'm going to show you this video. After you watch the video, I'm going to come back and tell you what happened, what I did, because you're going to see it. I'm going to explain what happened. But what I want you to do is pay attention. I'm not saying this to brag, but I'm saying this to brag on my training that I received. I didn't panic. I stayed calm. I collected. I realized what was going on. I knew what I needed to do. I did it. I executed. I got control of the situation, and we landed safely. Everybody was safe. Nothing happened. So I'm going to let you watch the film. I'll come back and tell you what happened. I don't see it.
Tower, Guardian 1.
Yeah, there's 2-1 right there where the plane's taking off.
Hey, Guardian 1.
Okay.
Guardian 1, Peachtree Tower. Oh, we're down here. Thank you. I'd like to depart back to the east. Guardian 1, eastbound transition approved. Approved, Guardian 1.
Yeah, there's right. See him taking off right there? Yep. Alright. Plane waiting on us, so I'm gonna hurry up and get off the runway.
Main 330 at 6.
0 at 6. Alright. Off of here. Woo! We got plenty of runway. This is the threshold, so I can't land until I get to those stripes. Okay. Oh. Woo! Go. Come on. Oh, shit! Oh! Oh, Scott! You okay? Yep. Oh. I got plenty of runway. Okay.
9 Lima Golf heading for 290, contact land departure today.
Ooh, gosh, you got away from me there for just a second.
What happened?
I started stalling. The plane started to stall.
You okay?
Yeah.
Oh, that scared
Skyline
you.
1, Bravo Mike, turn right, Charlie, cross runway 21 right. If not Charlie, turn right, Foxtrot. Okay, turn right, Charlie, cross runway 21 right, contact ground point 6 on the other side, thank you.
Alright, we'll turn right on Foxtrot, cross runway, 941, Bravo Mike. That was a pretty wild ride, not one I want to do again. Let's analyze what happened here. Number one is, when I got switched from the right runway to the left runway, I was focusing so much on making sure I was on the right runway and making sure I was lined up correctly that I didn't pay attention to a crucial factor in the landing process, and that's airspeed. For you pilots, if you want to zoom in on a video of the steam gauges, you will see my airspeed indicator was hovering around 70 knots. Well, I fly a 182S, and a 182S, the landing speed is 80 knots, so I was 10 knots less than where I needed to be at. So as I come down, you hear me talk about the threshold, and I can't land, at the threshold. I have to land beyond the arrows you see there. I'm aiming for the 1,000-footers, and as I come in, I think that I'm in my mind. I'm thinking, okay, I'm ready to level off, but really I was too high. That's one of the mistakes I made. I was too high, and when I went to level off to get into what is called a ground effect, and what ground effect is, it's where air gets trapped between the wings and the ground, and it creates like this pillow that the airplane's riding on top of. And as the airplane moves down the runway in this ground effect, it starts to go away. The ground effect starts to go away slowly. And when it does, the plane starts to sink. And when it sinks, you start pulling back on the yoke. You raise the front of the airplane up, get that nose wheel up. You land on the two back wheels. That's called flaring. And then when you land on two back wheels, you just bring the nose wheel down slowly. In this case, as I was coming in too slow and I was too high. And so when I came in too slow, I flared too soon, I was too high, and then because I was too slow, there was almost no ground effect. And what happened is the plane, you hear the stall horn, and then the plane just drops, and we bounce. You see that. Now, when we bounced, the first thing I did was I pushed in the throttle. I gave it power. I wanted to gain control of the plane. Now, normally in situations like this, if we were at a smaller airport, I would do a go-around. I would just power it up, I take off and go around and redo the landing. But in this case, I had plenty of runway to play with. I didn't need to do a go-around. I had it as an option. I could always do it if I wanted to, but I didn't have to. I mean, I have plenty of runway. So when I powered up, the plane started to want to bank to the left. And when it did, I applied right rudder. It's my right pedal that you can't see in the video. So when I applied the right rudder, I turned the ailerons to the right. It forces the plane to start moving back to the center line of the runway. As soon as it gets to the center line, I level off the plane and I just land it, and it's done. Again, rookie mistake, one I won't make again. Hopefully I never make again. But one that reminded me that, hey, when you're flying an airplane, no matter how many hours you have, no matter how many places you go, always be prepared for the unexpected.